Mike's
Red hot lemonade.
Yeah, Mike's hot lemonade. That's it.
Nice.
I don't know that I'm interested.
That's when you have, like, you know, a big old hard lemonade, and then you just splash some, you know, Frank's Red Hot in there.
So I was just thinking, like you take the Mike's hard lemonade and then just like up to like close to the boiling point, like it's just like it's a tea or something.
Hot Mike's hard lemonade sounds like one of the grossest things I've ever heard of.
Yeah, I don't like it. It just sounds bad. Yeah.
Mike's extra challenging lemonade. That's very good.
Mike's hurt me more lemonade. Mike's nightmare lemonade. Ah, okay. So I've got two things I want to do today. One of them is a shorter bit at the start, and the second one is this. This is just gonna take a look at this first because I don't really know what this is.
Mixed up Premiere draft, huh?
So it's not like
not a Phantom draft.
It's not a Phantom draft.
This is real.
You keep the cards. It's not like it shows these like mystery packs, so it's not like a full chaos draft. I think it's like sort of a cube, but like with a secret list, or maybe not. Maybe duplicates can exist.
Yeah, so, maybe it's not a cube, but it's. What if basically you built a cube, right? And then you allowed duplicates to exist by just like creating boosters out of them.
Yeah. So like it's not. Yeah, like maybe we can pull like, you know, more wild things out of this. But the other thing I wanted to kind of just chat about today, because this is 3 days after Wizards' major Gen Con announcement, was just kind of taking a look at that because there was a lot in there, and I just kind of wanted to you know, take a look over it because it was a lot of cool stuff. Let me switch a couple views quick. First is yours, so you can see what I'm looking at. And then second is the streams, so they can see what I'm looking at, which is this incredible Hydra.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
Yeah. But there was a panel over the weekend with a lot of more of a look at what Wizards is doing design-wise than basically we've ever seen, as far as like how far out it goes, to the point where...
this is an incredibly rare thing where we've always known that Wizards works 3 years in advance.
Yeah,
but they don't talk about things that they're working on 3 years in advance.
Because they're still in flux, they're still in design, they're not finished.
Yeah.
So as of late, over the last 4-ish years, Wizards has been... maybe not. I don't actually know how long it's been. They've been, rather than announcing sets kind of like 6 months out, 9, you know, or so, like they just, here's the year. Here's what 2022 is going to have in it for releases, you know, Time Spiral Remastered and all these sets. And that's what this presentation is. But
it went way farther ahead than it normally does.
Yeah, like because this is our setup for the rest of 2023, just where our Okay, so my favorite goose head is the one like top left, that's just kind of closed and just kind of like.
My favorite is the one that's on the left that's full progenising. It's just off the screen.
Yeah, just. But yeah, but they went ahead and it's like, okay, we're gonna show off our sets for 2024. Also, a Jurassic World.
This is a secret lair, if I remember right. That's supposed to be a
from what I understand, I can unmute this and.
Jurassic World for not one.
Oh right, it's working
like
with Plus Caverns like the
it's like the Transformers ones. Yeah.
War. Right.
Like then there's the Doctor Who one, which there's there's a second Lord of the Rings thing that I still don't understand that's happening.
It's like, I think it's kind of like Mom Aftermath, where it's very small when you get down to it.
Like the original
some extras.
Yeah, the original like announcement for it was like, oh, it's like alt art scenes, and it has like, I think they show off. Yeah, they show off like this art. This is the Galadriel that like has this kind of mural bit going on, but also, from my understanding, with like new cards as well. So, not really certain on that. But the first set in, like we have a Ravnica bit as our first, release. Ravnica Remastered, which also has.
I'm assuming is going to basically be a best hits of Ravnica.
Yeah, it's like a Time Spiral Remastered.
Also, dang.
Oh,
that's a lot of.
Dang, thank you, Nick Themeron, for 25 gift subs. Congrats to Cribby Crib, Kung Fu Salad, Kung Fu Shooting Games, Sick Nasty, Lord Sick Nasty. Not gonna forget your title there. Zombie Willer Gibbs, Runespism, Adamant Arcvile, FFF Lolla, Jeeves Manor, Whimsy Karen, Tangled String, G-Volt, Nope Q, Dusty Tome, Psych, Lothi, Dragon, Hot Soup 256, Hard Emoticon, Broxel, Cactus Fantastic, Freighter 5, Funkus Postmus, MC Subtle, Shinku Tier 1, Gentle Job. And Anthony Carstrom. I appreciate that one too. But yeah, the actual release though is this set called Murders at Karlov Manor, which is very funny as a set release here because from the very limited window I have into Hearthstone, this was a 2022 Hearthstone release.
I see.
Like literally a mystery in a mansion sort of.
Well, but to be completely fair, again, given the time
3 years,
I know. Work at,
what,
and also, for once, it's not the first time they did.
I was gonna say that's
Moon and Bloodborne came out pretty close to each other.
That's the thing that makes it really interesting is that there's clearly like simultaneous development going on, as well as like they're pulling from like, oh, this is a pop, like, hey, this is what we're like could work well.
Mystery stuff in general, like whodunits, have been popular for the past few years for a number of reasons.
Yes.
Not least of which because Knives Out was a huge movie, first off. And from there you can kind of work with that.
Yeah. The fun part here is we have all our we have a number of
that is Massacre Girl.
Yeah, we have Massacre Girl here at the Murders.
That's Feather. Not Feather, sorry, what's her name? Aurelia, right.
Is that Krenko?
I think it's Krenko, right? On the far right?
Yeah. Yeah, so right. Massacre Girl probably didn't do the murders. We'll see. She's got.
It would be very funny.
It would be incredibly funny.
Yeah, it was Massacre Girl, obviously. The serial murderer. Yeah, it was the serial murderer. Turns out.
Wow, we didn't. How did we not figure that one out? Like, it was pretty easy now that we think about it in retrospect.
I don't think they really explained how this set was going to be as far as the murder mystery goes. I have a feeling it's going to be a Who Shot Mr. Burns style thing where they have, they put out the set and then they'll give it like a couple of weeks and then there'll be a story revealing who it was. And like all the hints and clues and stuff are going to be on the cards.
That'd be fun. Like, we have, like, I guess we've got, like, Kyle looking at a skull there. We've got somebody listening in on a conversation here. One other thing I guess I should mention, just as like a thing for how Wizards is doing sets for the foreseeable future, is that part of their story setup with Aftermath and March of the Singular Machine is a rein-in on Planeswalkers.
1% going forward.
Yeah,
that's the thing that's happening.
Yeah,
only one.
Like, I think the idea is like oversaturation has made it a less special card type.
There's hundreds of Planeswalkers now.
Yeah.
Like straight up, there's like 300 of them.
Yes.
I want to say so, and there was likely going to be a lot in supplemental stuff like the Horizons or like Legend, Commander, stuff like that. But for the tentpole sets, as they call them, 1%, and that's it.
Yeah. Which also has, we saw this art earlier in a preview.
No, 1%, as in a singular Planeswalker percent, not one per color percent.
So there's
1%.
a spoiler. There's a spoiler for Wilds of Eldraine for Ashiok's Planeswalker card. There will be no other Planeswalker in the set.
Yeah,
like card. Like there will be a number of the characters because Will and Rowan are still there, etc. 1 per set, 1 singular, 1 parent 1.
Yeah, they kind of re-specializing the card type again, and there's just been a huge saturation of them. So like, yeah, on top of that, they have other new card types that they've been making, and they want to present those as the special things.
Oh, I didn't actually see all the art in this. I haven't like fully watched this video.
Also, the Clue edition, which is kind of funny.
They also mentioned, so they have the Clue edition, but then they also have like
Ravnica Clue, which is not supposed to be like
Clue.
A full game mode.
Yeah, it's a different.
That is Clue-like.
Yeah, it's not the game Clue. This is the game Clue, or Cluedo.
Colonel, your mustard over here, who's Boros. Your Professor Peacock, who I think is Azorius.
That's got to be Azorius.
That looks like Azorius to me. Yeah. Professor Plum, Mrs. Peacock. Professor Plum here is Demir.
Yeah, that's absolutely. Oh God, I'm forgetting.
Yeah, there's a few that I don't
unique
remember.
And fun, all on its own. In some
Mr. Green. Mr. Green is just
okay.
Miss Scarlet.
Miss Scarlet.
Mr. Green.
Okay. So yeah, so our next few sets coming up, we have Wilds of Eldraine, which has previews starting next week. We have after that is Lost Caverns of Ixalan, which from the art shown on that is like a hollow world inside of Ixalan sort of thing.
Yeah.
And
for what it's worth, they did say that making it an Ixalan side is actually kind of backporting it a little bit.
They did.
Originally, it was its own entire plane.
Yes.
And then they kind of thought, like, you know what? This would be kind of good to put into something else. So they put it into Ixalan. Yeah. Turns out Ixalan's a fucking hollow plane. Turns out there's a thing on the inside and the outside.
And then the Ravnica, Karlov Manor. I keep wanting to say Markov Manor. They also announced a set of EDH decks for Fallout, which
I think the 40k decks put Fallout instead of 40k.
Yeah, specifically like the EDH decks, which
I don't know who they're going to like. The only one of these that I guess they'd tie them to the factions. Like this is the Brotherhood of Steel deck.
Yeah.
This is the
because like and I assume we're working with. I assume we're working with like Fallout 3, Fallout 4, 76.
I think that they're gonna go.
I would
with
love to
all.
see all.
Because I have a feeling that they're gonna have a Super Mutants deck, and one of the commanders is going to be
yeah. No
like,
been asking
and
the
that's gonna be
question.
Fallout 1. Right
No,
there.
no, been asking the question. I'm dancing around. Will this be Capital Wasteland Fallout, or will this be good Fallout?
I'm gonna
look,
say it's going to be all
oh,
Fallout, which means half of it's gonna be good and half of it's gonna be bad.
Yeah. I wonder what the first politically weird. Okay, there's a very funny crossover that I want to bring up a point about when we get to it later on that. But
I want to say that's actually a non-zero good chance that you can have Mr. House as your commander, and like one of them is just going to be like the
one of them
Mojave
being
stuff in general.
right, the like the Mojave Johnny Five Aces card, of course.
Because 1 and 2 is probably going to be the single, the Super Mutants deck. Then the other two are going to 3 and 4, and then maybe 76 has its own. We'll know.
So the thing there, you crazy paw, on assuming there's only going to be token representation for Fallout 1 and 2, is that on the one hand, if this is like
1, 2,
Bethesda,
and New Vegas, there we go, all 3 of them at the same time.
Yeah, like if this is like Bethesda current era Fallout stuff that is more controlled by that part of the licensing, yeah, that's more likely. But looking at like we don't have them out yet, but the Doctor Who decks have an entire deck that's that's like pre-reboot. You know, the Doctor Who from 60. Oh God, what is it, 60?
I couldn't tell you. Sorry, I don't know nearly enough about Doctor Who to say.
I forget the year. But like from the 60s onward to like first through 8th Doctors, as well as the villain specific deck that also has very specific characters that were only from that were from like 6th Doctor serials, but so like from the standpoint of like what they would want to be making, I'm sure they'd love to make stuff with Fallout 1 and 2. It's going to be... But yeah.
I don't think that Wizards of the Cloud has no Wizards of the Coast, not Wizards of the Cloud. Wizards of the Coast has no clout to be able to say, we want to have access to the entire franchise and work with all of it. Because also, the Master would be like the single easiest commander card to make in the entire fucking setting.
Right.
Like, easily. Be artifact creature, super mutant.
Having that,
like Doctor is a card type now or something. I don't know.
Time Lord is a card type, yes.
Yes.
Time Lord with a space in the middle as one card type. The singular word time is not a creature type.
For what it's worth, is making the people who work on Scryfall really, really annoyed.
Yes, because now you have to have a space as a delimiter.
As a viable thing.
Yeah.
That is a huge pain in the ass with HTML stuff.
Yes. But, yeah. That one from the like, bits I've heard on it is like, yeah, like... we would want to, for rules purposes, hyphenate it, but that is not, like, brand. So. Just silo all the time. Oh, silo, sorry. Just silo all the Time Lords off. Anyway.
Yeah.
The release
Outlaws
after
of Thunder
that.
Junction, right?
Outlaws of Thunder Junction, which we had this art before. But the key art that really matters for Outlaws is this one as well.
Just so everyone knows, they have said that they've hired sensitivity folks because it's extremely easy to make Western setting stuff, constantly vilified, natives in general.
That's mentioned, and I'm not playing the whole video in here, but it is a thing that's. Yeah. But yeah, so this here is. The specifics on this is that it is very obviously, Western-inspired cowboy world, but it's also, like, supposed to be a villain-specific, like, outlaws, as you might tell there.
So you have your lineup here.
Yeah.
That's Vraska, right?
That's
I thought Vraska.
Vraska. So Vraska had a story where Vraska was Phyrexianized and effectively had like a small corner of her brain that was like Jace did mind magic to make sure she wasn't like completely lost in that, but she was like killed and her body was never found. They said aloud, "Wow, we never found her body. Ain't that weird?"
That's what I thought. Yeah, I thought it was like officially it was like that she was killed in quotes, but she wasn't actually killed. That's probably Tiny Bones on the far left, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah, that's either a Tiny Bones or like a very skinny looking goblin. Tiny Bones has like a off skull. I don't know. But anyway, this is Oko. Most importantly, the elk wrangler here is going to be, you know, I need a wrangled elk if we're going to have Oko along. We also have Rakdos on the right.
Rakdos just hanging out.
Rakdos not to scale? I don't, like, you know.
Rakdos is normally super huge.
Yeah, this is...
Some planes do weird things. Maybe this plane forces everyone to be kind of like similar in size.
Yeah, we don't know for certain on like Tiny Bones, Vraska. We know this is Oko. That's not a... There's no question there. Yeah.
Obnixilis is still trapped in Capenna, yeah. Unless there's an Omen Path there, which, I mean, given that it got invaded, it probably is, but...
That's something, within Aftermath, the story-wise, there's been, like, we just have, like, they're called Omen Paths. But
they reintroduced planar bridges. They're back, maybe.
Yeah, using them as ways to have characters that aren't planeswalkers being able to go to different places.
It lets them print more legendary creatures in the set or characters of Magic the Gathering as a greater story, and not specifically always having to have them be planeswalkers.
Yeah. But it's mentioned as like the focus of, the obvious tool we're using for a lot of these stories here.
It's a 3-year story arc based on specifically the Omen Paths.
I just want like cow to elk, something like that. We gotta have elks here. But yeah,
I mean, moose are our thing.
Moose are elk.
High Modern Horizons 3.
Yeah, Modern Horizons 3, which means we're gonna have another large power shift in Modern. Modern has been pretty heavily moved by the power of Modern Horizons as sets, as well as the Lord of the Rings set that was directly released into Modern. The thing I like about Modern Horizons is that it lets them do high-powered high-powered printings into different planes without us like needing to spend a whole set there.
And also the fact that emphatically with Modern Horizons, they have no limits on what that they can do on the like use of design. They can just go ahead and say, we have access to every single mechanic in the game of Magic.
Yeah, we want to use. We can just build things. You know what? We're just gonna do some big Eldrazi nonsense, and that's just a thing we can do.
Also, they said that Modern Horizons 3 is getting released and is going to be draftable on Arena.
That's the weirdest one. Of all the announcement bits, that one's like, oh boy, like really? But
if it's purely just, hey, do you want to have the draft format? You want to just play it? Then there it is. It's going to be easier to do. You can't use those cards. You can use the cards maybe in Pioneer. I don't remember.
They can generate a whole lot of online posting, of course.
Yeah. Historic.
There was recently
it'll break the open historic.
Yeah. There was recently a ban list yesterday. I say ban list, but the changes were 2 unbannings. Preordain in Modern and
Mind's Desire
in Legacy.
So I guess Storm is back on the table for Legacy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. Storm has been the Legacy deck, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, and then... Past that.
Modern Horizons 3, because they made this decision, is going to be a DFC set. So Now they do specifically have access to every single mechanic in the game of Magic if they want to, including transform or
stuff.
MDFCs or whatever they want.
Okay, and here's some stuff them talking about.
This is them just talking more
recap.
about how Universes Beyond Secret Lair stuff works.
Yeah. Which leads us into the one I find very funny. We already knew that this was coming up, but not in what form it was. This is a Assassin's Creed crossover. Specifically, this is mentioned
They
as
announced
like
this ages ago.
Yeah, they announced
right.
This was like, I don't know if it was announced or if it was
2020,
leaked,
I want to say.
but like we've known about this since there was a note about this in a Final Fantasy one. And the
Final Fantasy one, I think, was officially announced by accident in a survey or something.
Yeah, but this is made as a non-draftable small set, so we don't have full details. But it's like, I'm assuming like Aftermath-ish size. It might be different, but they specifically called out not draft, like it's not made for drafting.
Yeah, which is in that to that end, with how incredibly lukewarm everyone is on Ubisoft these days. I don't know who this is for, but they made this decision years and years ago.
Yeah,
so
top us. Thanks for the sub. The thing I find really funny about this, as far as a thing that absolutely won't happen but could, is that if we're hold on, I just lost my. Everything went black on my stream. I have to wiggle it a bit. There we go. If we have our, Assassin's Creed, we have our characters that are Assassin's Creed characters, but we also have a lot of historical figure Assassin's Creed characters because the games take place in a number of historical settings.
Play George Washington.
That's right. It's the Pope. Let's go.
Fucking Pope Borgia. Let's go.
Legendary creature Pope. Yeah.
I'm gonna make the Pope my ring bearer, and I'm gonna swing in for the monarchy.
That's right. It's time to defenestrate the Pope. That's right. The Pope is gonna have a tragic slip in Magic.
I'm gonna commit a heartless act against the Pope.
He's going to go for the Pope's throat.
I'm just gonna murder the Pope. That's what I'm saying out loud. I'm gonna play the magic card murder on the Pope, which is 1 black for destroy target creature, and I'm not literally saying the words "I'm going to murder the Pope." This is a joke.
But yeah, that's about the only thing I have that I like. Assassin's Creed is a series I played like 1 and 2, so I'm not like attached to it.
A lot of people played 1 and 2, and probably also Brotherhood.
Yeah.
When it came out, and I mean. It is what it is now.
You can't kill me. I've got worship for the Pope in play.
I watched a friend of mine play a decent amount of Valhalla, and like the games have become weird. I don't know.
All right. Now for the site that is the set that is quite exciting as a concept, Bloomborough, which is a like anthropomorphic. Like small animals, no humanoids, no humans at all. It's just, hey, we've got a squirrel necromancer. We've got where's the Mouse Knight?
It's kind of like Lorwyn, but going even more extreme. That means to say, no goblins, no elves, no humans, this is any of those.
They are doing Redwall basically. Think that. Like, I don't know if the art is here, but there's a art they showed for this that is like a mouse warrior with like a leaf cape fighting like a fire dog.
That was the preview art that they had before they announced the set properly. I think it's in like the I think it was before this announcement, like the announcement of Bloomborough itself that they showed off. I am hoping that the one planeswalker that they print in this set is Grist.
Ooh, okay. No, there's
there it is.
That art there. But yeah, it's so this is its own. Thunder Junction and Bloomborough and the one we're going to get to next are all new planes. But like, yeah, yeah, a lot of cool art you can use for mouse guard icons. A+. That's, you know. And then we have maybe the strangest of all these, Duskborn
this
House of
isn't-
Horror. This is a set that is on a plane, that the entire plane
is one giant Spencer mansion.
one giant mansion is the entire plane. It's like when we first like saw this mentioned, it's like, oh, that's a horror-ish Innistrad, but no, like, is this on Innistrad? No, the entire plane is house.
Just one house.
Big.
It's the largest house in the multiverse, but there's one house there.
Yeah, like, you know, we're doing Betrayal on House of the Hill or Haunted Mansion, perhaps.
A Doom house. It's already decorated.
What's outside that window? The garden on the inside of the house. You know, we gotta.
Yeah.
I would love to. What the basics would be here is actually got to be like interesting, right?
Yeah, because like your plain swamp island. Yeah, I'm going to assume island's a bathroom.
Your swamp is like a shitty basement.
Yeah, like the plains is probably the living room.
We have a fireplace for our mountain.
Or just, you know, your Resident Evil 4 volcano room. You know?
The volcano room. Wait, okay. How many medallions am I gonna need to open doors in this place?
Oh, you're gonna need to have
so
at least
many. 2
for every door.
Yeah.
You have to then, you know, set them together, and then when you put the medallion in, you have to orientate it right, you know.
B3313.deck. But yeah, I get like Hellraiser-ish vibes, like very like,
Yeah, something like that.
you know, old, like
This
a very
art
different
right here
horror.
is
Yeah.
this art right here is Giger without the dicks. Is what you're looking at. A little bit of Beksinski, but not too much.
So, like, as far as a set idea goes, like, especially this is a standard legal release, like, you know, main set, like, very, very wild idea, which
This is a very out there idea for a major release.
I have a lot of respect for taking weird shots, because even if they miss, you end up with really weird shit. So, this is the last.
I mean, hell, when back in the days, weird shot was something like Lorwyn, you know?
Right.
The fact this is significantly more out there of an idea.
So we're at like 2/3 through this, and this is the entirety of the 2024 release schedule for major releases. Then we go into 2025. Where they just mention, okay, we're doing an Innistrad Remastered, which is going to be similar to Time Spiral Remastered and the upcoming Ravnica Remastered.
Innistrad Remastered, they did say specifically it's going to be using every Innistrad set is going to be part of it.
Yeah. And then past that, we have Tennis, which...
Yeah, they're going with the code names for these because this is them talking about...
But Tennis, the concept for Tennis is wacky races through Omen Paths.
3 different planes. 3 different planes through the Omen Paths. It's going to be a wacky death race.
Yeah, like that's the setup is that it's a bunch of racers racing through 3 different planes. My first thought would be like Kaladesh, New Capenna, because those are both places that would have like
Kamigawa
vehicles. Kamigawa has a lot of vehicle stuff. Yeah, Twisted Metal sort of like, but
my guess is purely it's going to be the 3 most vehicle heavy planes, which are in fact Kaladesh, New Capenna, and you know,
I think
and Kamigawa.
I think the note in here is like 2 old planes, 1 new.
Return to in another.
Okay, if that's the case, then Kamigawa is probably out.
The third world,
because that's the one that's most likely to be out
but
just
never
for
visited as a
another
main
return to it as a full plane.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
Whereas Capenna is a little bit less likely because it was a relatively unpopular plane, and Kaladesh just we haven't seen in a while, and it'll get its due at some point.
Yeah. So yeah, this is just the idea. Again, a very silly idea. they mentioned, Mark Rosewater there just said it's like the third plane is an extant plane that hasn't been a set. We have Skull Car. We have
Yeah, fuck yeah. Let's go with Xerax. Now we're talking.
Ooh, oh God, you drive.
That would be some serious shit.
Ooh,
You drive in one
drive-
direction, then all of a sudden you go back out.
You like go through the little Omen path, and you end up, and all of a sudden you see yourself on the ceiling, and you start seeing, oh boy, it's just Speed Race to the movie, yeah, basically. So
The state of Alara right now is Alara. Actually, if I remember right, Morrow is like Alara is currently sticking in their craw as a thing that they do have to get back to and address, but they just don't have any plans for it right now. Still.
yeah. So, but we're at the point where, so looking here, the Mark Rosewater is,
Setting of
talking about these in this video. This is like currently in design stuff. That's why it like we're at the point where like, so Magic Design is one of those things where like sets are made 2 to 3 years out, and looking at a 2025 release, we're at a year and a half at least. So like this is still
At
mid
this point,
development.
sets haven't been named yet. Even
Right.
We're talking about just code names, and they have a lot of stuff like made for it already, but it's not done.
Right, they aren't
A lot
going
of the art's probably not.
Yeah,
done.
finished art is one of those things that is, you don't have that until late because your cards aren't finalized until late. They likely have mechanics and such. Then we have Ultimate, as in Frisbee.
This one is a return to cons.
Yeah, return to cons.
Return to Tarkir.
Yeah, return to
Tarkir
Tarkir.
specifically,
Quote.
sorry.
Let me see if I can just.
So it's very fun, and it's a really cool set. And
Return to Tarkir,
There might
which
be
they
some
said is going to take the
Okay,
best of
so
the
that
both
moves up
worlds of
and
cons and
Lemon
dragons,
back,
which means probably
the
80%
phrase we've been
cons
using
and
in
like 20%
design
dragons.
is the best of both worlds, which
It's
means
a
we
full
want to
new
take
set,
all the
though.
awesome things
They mean
about
like
cons and
mechanically and
Tarkir,
like
and
identity-wise.
Yeah. So yeah, it's specifically like, look, we know that this was left in a bad state.
They announced that they knew that they fucked up with cons into dragons way long ago. That was something that they said like the year of after Dragons was released. It was, yeah, we know that we left cons in the wrong state. We really underestimated how much people were actually going to enjoy the cons and the wedges. And
Yep.
it turns out a lot. They're very popular.
And then the other big one we don't have any key art for, but we have details on. This was the other one that was known along with Assassin's Creed as of earlier this year. We didn't know what form this was taking. This is a announcement of Magic / Final Fantasy as a quote tentpole release, aka the
Which is
same
to say,
size
I'm
as the same size as Lord of the Rings. Like we're doing, like with these Universes Beyond things, we have like the ones that are like secret layers and a couple cards. We have ones that are EDH decks, commander decks. We have ones that are like smaller sets with the what they mentioned about Assassin's Creed. This is like, as a tentpole release, it's going to be like, Lord of the Rings is the only one we have compared to, which means it's about, Lord of the Rings was 400 new cards, full draft set, commander decks, a bunch of alt arts, also a number of things.
And also all of that was legal and modern immediately, right?
Yes.
So that means that it's flat out. There's a lot of it, and it's actually very impactful to the game itself.
Yeah. As mentioned in here, it is quote every mainline Final Fantasy title up through and including 16.
Yep, 1 through 16 all being included.
Does Tactics get thrown in as does that count as a mainline title? I know it's not numbered.
Tactics doesn't by itself, but because 12 is, there's a non-zero chance there's going to be like a couple Tactics cards in there.
Yeah. But if we're doing, but yeah, that's a lot of potential on this. Sabin is a card that suplexes the Pope. Yep. Yeah, so 16 games worth of these. There's already I am sure if you're familiar with Final Fantasy as a series, you're already thinking about a ton of ideas for vehicles and chocobos and creature type Sid and, all sorts of things.
Officially, they said that they want to avoid doing universes beyond Planeswalkers,
Yes.
but if they did have one,
This
should be the place where they have one.
Yeah, they have mentioned specifically that their rule with Universes Beyond is that there are not Planeswalkers in Universes Beyond products. The biggest of these you can see this with would be the Doctor Who one. It would be one I would think.
Very easy to make any of those.
Very easy
a
to make
Planeswalker.
those. But if there were a place to do it, making Gilgamesh a Planeswalker would be like a thing you could do, and then have Gilgamesh be like equipment like her Planeswalker, right? Like, look,
listen, I already designed my own Gilgamesh. It was +0 copy target artifact equipment card, except it loses legendary and has equipped creature gets -1/-1.
Yeah, I Excalibur that gives +0/+0. Look, I've already thought of a million cards for something like this because I think it's a very it's also like
it'd be so easy to make a good Greg, so easy.
It's also a thing that like Final Fantasy as a property is not like that far removed from Magic. Like when we're looking at like Magic X Fallout or Magic X Assassin's Creed, like that's a pretty long jump.
But
Final Fantasy 1 is flat like just yoinking all the D&D things. Yeah. So there already is a Bahamut Planeswalker in Magic.
It is a little annoying to me that the D&D sets don't count as Universes Beyond personally, but that's because they own both IPs.
Yes, I early on with both the D&D sets and the early implementations of Universes Beyond stuff, I was very adamantly against this sort of stuff. The D&D stuff felt very like self-congratulatory.
A little bit, yeah.
And the early Universes Beyond products, even looking at
the
them
Walking
back,
Dead one specifically is like, what are you doing?
Choosing a TV show that hasn't been relevant in a decade to be the like spear point of it was such a.
And then choosing a second TV show that is relevant at the moment, but like is pretty divisive at the same time, because Stranger Things Beyond season 1 was not necessarily universally beloved.
Yeah, but like I've warmed on it very considerably. To the point where I'm very excited about like this one hugely. I love the show.
I feel like they got. I feel like they got way better at top-down design for these first and foremost, and they, once they started to do like real sets of it and stuff like that, I suddenly and real like decks and things like that. Just generally the fact that they've been very high quality since then.
Yes,
I'm for them. I'm totally for them personally.
The Warhammer decks were the ones that turned me on it because like I don't have a bone in my body.
Really good
I don't have a bone in my body that could care about Warhammer. But the cards both as like from a mechanics and like a unique, cool, fun card to play with really got me going. And also like from what I could tell from people who did like them, it's like, oh no,
hugely faithful.
These are
they super evocative,
and that's been true with a ton of their releases. We've been drafting Lord of the Rings a lot, and the Lord of the Rings set with its one asterisk that I put on the side of it, like the designs of the cards are really like have a lot of strong, faithful elements to the characters and the setting. There's a number of them that stand out as like, oh, this is a really cool, setup. So, and the or like upcoming, they've been showing off previews for the Doctor Who decks, and there was a specific saga that they showed off that just had me giggling at City of Death, which is a 4th Doctor serial. The card creates a treasure token on 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 makes a copy of a non-saga token, so it can't copy copies of itself to do weird shit. But the plot of City of Death involves a half dozen copies of the Mona Lisa. And the art for the treasure token is it's the Mona Lisa. And you just make a bunch of copies of the Mona Lisa. And it's very funny as like...
Yeah.
Like
For what it's worth, I do think I first saw the potential for them to all be really good with the Street Fighter one. Which
yes. The Street Fighter one was
the Street Fighter cards are great.
Yeah. The Street Fighter ones, just going back to... Because we can...
They showed off specifically Chun-Li and Blanca.
Yeah, these. So
right here.
There were actually some notes recently about these where these were actually more like restricted in design. The early Universes Beyond cards actually had like higher restrictions on like what they could and couldn't use as far as like mechanics and such. And this is like the point where it started to break, like where they could just start doing. Like, okay, if we want to make a card that is, you know, like, both, like, mechanically fun and also, you know, Chun-Li has multi-kicker.
Chun-Li has multi-kicker is so goddamn good. Ryu has the untap symbol on him because it's a fucking 2-3-6.
Yeah. Of course Dalsim has reach. Like,
yeah, of course Dalsim has reach. Why wouldn't he?
So yeah, this was the like point where it's like, okay, we turn a corner. Yeah, evergreen mechanics only. It was the original, and like so for the first couple, like that was a restriction in place, and then the rest of this is kind of chatter about
about stuff that they are just talking about. One of these 2 sets down here, 3 sets down here, is a return to Lorwyn.
Yeah,
specifically.
Like these are so far they can't even tell us details. There's literally nothing because it's not even done in it's an early dev. But they have said there's a return to Lorwyn new set up there.
Yeah.
So, and then
finally Lorwyn Shadowmoor is coming back for everyone who loved Lorwyn Shadowmoor, which is a pretty decent number of people who did.
Well, then we're showing off this Secret Lair, but whatnot.
Secret Lair Angels. Yep. But, who cares?
But yeah, pro wrestling plan. So, don't skip volleyball. Do we have details on there?
Right. One of them is Return to Arcavios, which is the Strixhaven plan.
Right, the one that's which.
Oh, and the space plane, right? Yeah, the space opera one as well.
Yeah, they meant. I thought there was art for that.
There is one piece of art for the space one.
But it's not. There it is. Okay, thank goodness. Yeah, this. Okay, I was like, wait, there's this again, much further out. But it's just like, look, we're already breaking a lot of what conventionally is a Magic set. Neon Dynasty actually is a huge
really push them forward.
Bit of that, and it's just like, look, let's just do a some sort of flat sci-fi setting.
Yeah, sci-fi is just allowed now. You're allowed to do it. Sure, most of the planes aren't, but hey, at least one of them is. It's this one, which is also apparently going to be fucking huge because it's, the space one.
Yeah, right.
If they have space, but it's not massive, I'd be very disappointed.
Zip lining as the story finale for everything, so it better end with some kids into a wall at 60 miles. Yeah, yep. I'm sure
zip lining.
So, anyway, I wanted to touch on all of that because I found it, like, wildly interesting, both as a look into, like, okay, obviously, like, here's upcoming sets. That's a fairly normal thing we're doing. But, like, the look at, like, here's concept art for a thing that we aren't even finalized on, or, like, talking about, like, very heavy upcoming bits. I find that's, like, very fascinating. All right, let me...
They actually had sets with Just a Gun a long time ago. One of the countries in Dominaria just developed guns. I forget which one that was.
We want Arena back.
But it was explicitly Dakmor. All right. Yeah, explicitly, that was the just one part of Dominaria that decided guns were a thing that could exist.
But so yeah, it's like because we're doing like one set visits to a lot of these, it feels a lot more rapid fire than we previously did. But it's not like having the Thunder Junction, having Bloomborough aren't that out there compared to like the concept of like Cowboy World and Ancient Greece World and Horror World and Innistrad are all very like similar as the idea there, but like the rapid fire nature, and also we're just at a point where we're just like, okay, let's just break open
Gloves
some
are
of
off.
the thing. Yeah, pull off the gloves and walk into the mansion,
The arena is not being casted properly on my end, just so you know.
Oh, let me,
It's weird.
that's strange. Any different? I'm gonna do this.
There it is. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, finally. New mechanic, Guns Fusion, Guns Brasters.
Yeah.
At last, Barkley 2 gets released as a Magic set.
The promise has been made 2023.
It is so funny to me that the promise has been made was a thing that happened, and then they're not going to keep that promise.
Yeah,
it's very funny.
Well, enchantment Zauber, indeed. All right, that's been a lot of chatter. Let's go play some Magic.
Oh, okay. I guess you get this card back from playing this.
These cards are canon. Are you ready to open absolute garbage? I've been warned that like expect grizzly bear vanillas. Just
Oh, really?
expect like trash.
Is it really that like wide spanning?
Nick Themeron was telling me to not do this. So
Okay. Rick's Madi Reveler is
Okay.
rare.
To draw. Find Clay Revenant. Raptor. I know Take Flight is quite good.
Yeah. Take Flight is a lot of flying and also a lot of cards.
Yeah. Millipede. Parcel. Wall of Vines. Like this.
M19.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Rick's Madi.
So far, this pack doesn't seem like it's trash.
Yeah.
It's got fine cards in there.
The Beatdown is also a good one. Kappa Tech Wrecker.
Magistry. Ooh, Tech Wrecker.
Gator. These are the ones that exile onto lands. We have a Bite. And a Tech Wrecker. I like the Tech Wrecker. This card is just a really strong one.
It has a lot of just versatility to it.
Yeah. Fixer is the... Okay, that's just the...
So this is a mix of just a bunch of cards out from all over the place. I wonder how absurd the rare and
There's also just Eviscerate.
Mhm.
Like... Enchantress.
Whenever you cast
An
at
enchantment.
3.
Yeah. It's just
Kind of-
Enchantress. Civilian Tribal. Baloth Gorger. Ooh.
Gorger.
This is a good creature. I like Baloth Gorger. Blink of an Eye. Dominaria. Nurturing Presence. And then Mech Hanger. Stern Lesson was strong, but I don't know how good Power Stones are in here. I think obviously we have stuff. I don't like want to be like Citizen Tribal. This card was incredible
Also,
in its set.
Yeah,
but...
but it's also 2 colors, one of which you're not necessarily playing, whereas this is at least a playable card already. Defabricate. I wonder how likely you are to ever get fixing.
Yeah, I don't know how large this is. Okay, I do see what was meant about, like, quality of creatures when I see, like, Aesthir Glider and, like, Blood Servitor. Yeah, I'm gonna grab the fixing. Obviously, blue might not be our set in stone bit here, but... Mutate, sure. Tamio's Completion?
Yes, this is sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Bond of Progress is that one that, like, you need to have a bunch of them for it to do anything, right?
This is like you need to have, like, ways to put oil on it to have it be, like, mill that works. Black in here is also looking
Skyfisher
good.
Spider.
Yeah, this is sack a creature, kill a creature, and then...
And also it has its death thing as well in the graveyard where you can exile it if you want to gain a bunch of life.
Yeah. I'm tempted by this. Because black has been looking strong. Easy prey. Evolving Wilds. 2 mana or less. Snoop.
Wait, hold on. Did you get a print run in this? Disgusting if so.
I know, right? Llanowar Envoy and a Scuttlegator again?
Getting a fucking print run in the middle of a chaos draft? Come on. Come on.
It's got Bizarro Coalition, I guess. Oh, okay.
The Garth Opportunist is pretty good, yeah.
Shield counter.
Scry 1 3 times.
Yeah, Arcane Flight is the other. Like, again, the flying as a way to... Ooh, okay, well.
Taxian Raptor.
Raptor's quite good. Whisper Squad. Parcel.
As far as Adjudicators can be played just as the fixing.
And you can cast it off itself for the white.
Yeah. So it doesn't actually require that white, and it does fix you for green and blue.
Yeah. Okay, keeping ideas open. Green looks like our certain setup.
Yes.
I
do like your blue right now too.
Yes.
It's not as
getting the Raptor back makes me feel a lot better about it. This is a good.
Mm-hmm.
Could have gotten a buddy for our Gator, but
don't worry. He's got 2 different other types you can get a buddy for.
take a card with cycling. I'm gonna take a card with cycling 1.
Sure.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna feel good about getting the ability to splash if there are cards powerful enough to. Okay. I like keeping colors
Good.
open in a chaos. That's kind of why I'm wavering a little bit.
Mhm.
Vehicle likers. Okay. Back to
Eidolon of Destruction.
sure loyal
Who cares? This is a 2-mana 2/1 with first strike.
harpooner.
Bad Thalia.
Troll and harpooner are the two that stand out to me. This one's really good at just like knocking out flyers.
I want to say with Troll, you only have one card that benefits from it otherwise.
Power 4 or greater would be the Gorger.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get like early drops going more, and this is a 3 power. Like, so this is like, if we think of this versus Blade of the First Pride, it has like 4 upsides on it. So 3 upsides on it. Certainly happy to be there. Whoa, Strider.
Woe Strider is actually a good ass card. All right.
Giant Growth proper. Devourer of Memory. Huh. Cute. Whoa, Strider be upon ye. Ah, we got rats.
Rates.
Whoa, Strider getting past was over an uncommon. There's an uncommon missing, and that tells me likely like a player in like white. Looking at like the coloring here.
Yeah, because there's only the one other white card in here.
Yeah, that would be a
It's actually
guess.
stacked with black. This pack is
Yeah.
5 black cards.
Doppelgeist. Ooh.
Merfolk Skydiver.
This is a also
Repeatable Proliferate.
return of
Oh, Into the Royal.
return of blank. Merfolk Skydiver is a 2/2 flyer for 2 as well. Like very powerful card, just as an aggressive body. I really like that. We don't have a ton of things for like proliferate on us, but I really like the body on this. And blue is like the color in here I'd be picking because it's like that versus like Into the Royal. Okay. Chimera is very strong. Can't attack. Proliferate the Death Touch counter, sure. Ooh. Sure. Another piece of fixing to make this deck work a little better. If we are in like the 3-color nonsense.
So far, I think you have reasonable reason to be 3-color.
Yeah. Which means I kind of want to pick up this fixing when I see it here. Cutting Geyser Mage is like expensive, but like fine. Like it's a 3/2 for 3, and then it has like it's a more expensive than
It's the world's worst mana
Mana
war,
War,
but it
but
is still a mana war.
yeah. But you have heard of me.
5 mana to target creature. Blood of Tears. All non-land permanents of their owner's hands. If you turn 4 or more non-token, you may put it. Okay, so this is a Cyclonic Rift where you get an upside.
Yeah, this is like not Sunder. It's the opposite of Sunder. The card bounce everything but lands. Return to Nature is the catch-all. Implement of Malice isn't awful. Surveil Likers.
Requires Surveil.
Yeah. I'm not like super into the Flood of Tears, but
I'm not either, but it's something.
spreading.
Destroy target land.
Sure, Bubble Snare.
You've actually been getting so much fixing for
Yeah,
chaos
I'm-
here. This has been very, very
I want
Nice.
to pick this up here to make this deck like fully function as like a 3-color list.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Ooh.
Charnel Troll, this is
Okay.
something good.
Okay. So Charnel Troll needs to be able to eat creatures to stay alive, but is really both a sizable body and a growing body. Yeah, I'm
So basically, you pick Charnel Troll here, you're gonna want to pick creatures a little bit more heavily from this point
yeah,
on.
and even like Self-Mill too sounds like a
Yeah.
usable. Feigned death of modern fame, you don't say. This is you use this in scam. I love that it's just called scam. On your grief or fury to buy back the body. Yeah, I'm just grabbing all the fixing in the world. Okay, I have another piece of fixing here, but this.
If we gotta go for the South Mill too, yeah, this works out very well.
Yeah.
This makes both color combos there being like cohesive.
Oh, this card kicked ass. We had treasure. We don't. I'm gonna pick up Duelist. I remember this doing a lot of work in Limited. Sure. Yep. Here's some sideboard cards. Dying is a scam, indeed.
Sideboard cards in a best of one format.
Mm-hmm. Return to Nature is like viable as like it does enough, but
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Champion of
So check this
Wits.
out. We have Champion of Wits, very powerful card. Crocodile, incredibly powerful card. Revival, pretty damn good card. Urg,
Spawn of Turg.
incredible cool card. Neilthorn Drake.
Also good.
Yeah, this is
That's
a pack that's.
Baleful Strix without the
So I'm between.
the cycle.
So I'm between Champion of Wits and Crocodile. IMO. I don't know what I want though.
I actually like the Crocodile for
Yeah.
being a 4-mana 5/4.
I think. Oh, it's stuck to my hand. Skeleton Archer, the Skeleton Archer.
Yep. Skeleton Archer I've seen in Minecraft.
Yep. Ooh. Is that the pick here? Farmer?
Yes, I think so, actually. That's a good card.
The Skeleton Archer or the. I think both.
I was actually thinking the farmer,
Yeah.
personally.
I think the farm. My idea on the Skeleton Archer is that it's like a creature.
It's a post-combat
Yeah.
bit of creature tech.
But this is also self-mill, which we've established was something we want, and also it can be fixing.
It also can get you. It's also not from the cards you mill. It's just got to pick up a land from your grave.
Bad deal.
Oh my god, Cassillionaire went to my skull. Bad deal. I'm gonna buy up all that. I'm gonna buy up all this exotic right here and now. Nothing can stop me.
Bad deal costs 1 million mana. I don't think that's it. Charm Sleep. Yeah. I don't actually know if I like Charm Sleep for being double blue there. I just didn't have the time on it. I was thinking about bad deal. Oh.
That's actually pretty on plan. If we're gonna
Yeah.
go for it. You do want to prioritize self-milling cards to an extent if you can do so. But that card right there actually has a decent payoff. So
Yeah, and even at like 5, it's still gonna be good as a body.
yeah.
This is the opponent's mill. Well, Thirst. Bite down is bite.
Relic of Legends.
Hi.
It would be nice. Travel prep.
So,
All right.
Well, sadly, yeah, what should do? That was a. Yeah, thinking about Horizon Seeker, thinking about Elfame Worm, thinking about Bite Down.
Bite down is removal.
Yeah. What? Sorry that happened.
Or congratulations.
Congratulations. Okay, legendary, make legendary, and Destructo. Anyway,
Invisible Stalker.
we have that. We have Gale Drifter. Pokeball. None of these are really that interesting.
How expensive is Dark Inquiry?
Co-
3. That should be able to say. That should be able to target lands.
Yeah. The Coercion is a card that exists. Snowman. Cartouche?
Yeah, sure. Cartouche.
Vitalist
That's
as
fine.
well?
It's also fair.
Because this is ramp. I don't know a ton we're going into, but Cartouche. We go with the Cartouche. Yes!
Urg has returned.
Urg
Spawn of Turg.
Drake has another pickable, but come on. So, power equal to lands in graveyard. Sacrifice lands. Surveil.
Yeah, and very much worth playing in the deck.
Now we can.
Skeleton Archer came back. That's nice. It's a Mog Fanatic variant.
I'll take the body. One zombie. Had to go check.
Hey, Keldon Strike Team. I actually played you a fair amount.
That is a 2-1
It's
festering
weird
goblin.
wording.
Okay, let's build an actual deck out of all this.
I think you have a decent deck that you can build out of this.
Yeah, I think it's missing a little bit of like the South Mill, because we didn't figure out that was our theme until a little late. But
Yeah, but you have some, and especially Urg is going to be able to, you know, you can go ahead and just surveil anything you want to the graveyard from that.
yeah, Prey, Splatter Goblin, probably not Mind Rot, Woe Strider,
Yeah, it's missing Hogak.
a little bit. That's the sort of thing we wish we had. Eternal Troll, Urg, Fisher Spider, Skydiver, and Opportunist was something we picked, but we basically can't
Didn't
use
really.
Yeah,
No. Power Stone tokens can't cast non-artifact spells, right? So
yeah. I kind of want something big
Say,
as
like
our
what?
last. It'd be activated abilities on like.
yeah, that's not worth it because you can't use it on I guess the Proliferate on Skydiver, not Skydiver, whichever it is. Guess Worm.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Worm's not
Worm.
bad. Vigilance Trample for 5 for on a 5/4.
Other would be like Pokeball
Yeah.
into the story. Anything I don't like in here for like a Pokeball.
Do you top out at 4?
With 1/5 and then a 7.
Well, the Necromass doesn't really cost
Yeah,
7.
I know. But yeah, we basically do top out at 4. How much removal do we have in here? Not a ton. It's like... It's probably better than that. It's like Capture Sphere and like
The Bite Down.
the Spider and yeah, like the Bite Down. And then like
Easy Prey is as well, isn't it?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
certain levels of things. Anyway,
And you do have a
Duel,
pretty good
duel.
number of fixing
Oh.
cards to put in.
get out of here. Duel, duel, duel. I don't think our card quality is low enough that I want cycling 1.
That card is not that impressive outside of the cycling one.
Thinking about End of the Story as like the big refill.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, I feel like.
Splattered Goblin's our worst creature. Alright. And then it's 7 blue, 8 green, 7 black. Sure. let's just... The reason I want cycling 1 is because it's like a way to get towards the fixing we want more. Alright. This deck is Sparrow like fixes blue-green and then like casts as like a 4/4 with some text. Ah, cool.
The thing about Spars is that it's a pretty low opportunity cost, is the thing, to have it do its thing.
Okay. Mono white. Ah! The double up. So our 4/4 should be a good way to get around this.
Unless they do it again.
Yeah. Oof. Okay.
Seems like there's a current beatdown happening.
Well, good thing for us, we've got Baloth Gorger as a 4/4 to bite that, or 5/5 as needed. Hopefully, if they have the second piece of removal in a row, that looks bad, but is okay. We can cartouche first. Could be a lot worse. All right. Cartouche. And bite.
All right, how reliant were you on this one creature, buddy?
Next turn we get an Elfhame Worm. If they play something... Hopefully they're just attacking for 2.
I think you're probably going to play something after combat, but or not.
Or not.
It might kill it tapped, maybe.
Let's see what happens. I'm gonna go in anyway. If they kill it tapped, they kill it tapped. Yep.
Yep, thought so.
We still have multiple
We still have a
game-ending
5/4
threats.
Resonance. Yeah. This is where playing green and limited makes sense, because you can just get the big boys down.
Yep. Alright, we're gonna go...
Now that you've invested something into it, do you want to attack?
Yes, because I can proliferate, and they would have to triple block to kill this.
Makes sense. Okay.
And triple block would kill all three.
Alright, nice.
Okay. So the Unholy Officiant is a +1/+1 counter on itself. That's a dead creature.
Death Toucher. Yeah, but also Skeleton Archer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they moved it to that, though?
Yeah.
White, green, or single white up. There's no way that they're killing you this time on this attack.
Okay.
Single white could probably give them like +2 on reach, but that's about it. Single green could do, I think, at best +4.
And I also get a Dismal Backwater for a life.
Mm.
Okay. No way. Absolutely not. They could make an Unholy Officiant counter. Yeah. All right.
That's it. That's one.
If we got hit by Settle the Wreckage, you know, that'd be funny. But all right, that was close, but we turned the corner pretty effectively. Having the kill spell for the duelist was necessary. Like we needed that. Okay. I like seeing just big creatures getting the job done.
Big creatures can get jobs done all over town.
What a strange format. If the packs are like, you know, the packs are like rare, 3 uncommons, common, and it's like, but they're each a different like pool.
Yeah, it seems like.
Because like there were repeats in each of the packs, but they were different repeats. Like,
very strange format.
And the power levels reined in, where like we have creatures with effectively like not no text, but like keywords only, French vanillas, you know? Yeah.
I mean, one just won that game.
Yeah. A couple did.
This is a difficult to keep hand, I think. I would probably not do it myself.
Yeah, I'm
You just cycle the easy prey, see if you can dig down 3 cards into getting your black, or more green at least.
That's the thought process, and I think...
If you wanted to go spicy, go for it.
I think I'm gonna be spicy on this one. Definitely a risky business move. Basically, without the cycling on easy prey, this wouldn't be enough. That just barely takes it over the line for me. Okay.
And it worked out. You're good.
Easy prey an instant?
You can't. Easy prey is an instant.
So I can just leave that up?
Either way.
Or I'm just gonna play a harpooner. If they play a
Well,
one,
you have 3/2 breach.
if they play a 1-power flyer, I get to, you know, my lunch is eaten. But this wasn't a blue source, so it's a white source though. They could play. Shit, don't do it. Okay. Oh! Bear Ultimatum.
Huh.
This is an old friend. They're playing 5-color.
Neat.
Anyway. Tap land, let's put pressure in. So this can sack for a 2/2/2/2/2.
Yeah, basically did. Okay.
Okay.
Well, you have all the land you need for a while.
Yeah.
And I guess it's actually fine no matter what you draw because a final land would let you cast into the story later. Which is nice.
Yes. So that draws. We're gonna go 4/4 body. Oh. Damn. Okay.
Control has 2 turns of ease,
Yes.
so that's... And that's a decent amount of damage off of it.
We'll try it. Obviously, anything we draw can be used up for it as well. So this was these are from Capenna. These come in and just sack to grab a basic of the one of the 3 colors tapped
And gain you a life.
and gain you a life. For us, it's nice because that's another card in their yard for end of the story. Yeah, these ones were neat. These are the like common basic lands in this set. All right.
Skeleton Archer.
Debating if that's better as a discard.
I think it is, but you don't have to do it yet.
Yeah, unless I'm like
Unless you
really
want to.
pushing, unless I'm really pushing damage. I'm gonna believe. That spells that target elemental cost you more. This is an aggressive
So,
line, but the
that's a-
fact that they didn't remove it on the spot and is like has power to me.
It's funny that how Boreal Elemental and like the isn't Ward 2. It's because it's Ward has the counter it unless you do stuff
Yeah.
on it.
All right. Then. Okay. Wow. Look at this fixing.
I think your opponent, yeah, picked a bunch of fixing and also probably just a ton of well, eggs and things like that. I'm assuming is
Yep.
another way to just have relative consistency in the format.
So, we have one more removal on Troll, and it becomes lethal damage. Life will make it not lethal damage. But it's a lot of damage. It's also like one of those things that's like, do you really want to be removing it is a question.
Because it will remove itself.
Yes.
Yeah, once you run out of stuff to exile.
Yep. Okay, Bear Ultimatum. Draw 2 cards, gain 2 life, deal 2 damage, make a bear.
I'm assuming the 2 to the face is actually the black effect on it.
Then eat the last creature. And then I'm just gonna draw cards.
You might want to do this post combat because you might get them to. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so on your upkeep, you could discard a card before having to exile, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm gonna put a... That's the entire point of this. Okay. Or they'll... That... Is that a... That's an ins... Okay, tapped.
Okay, well now we do have a problem in the form we don't have a board. But you can build one pretty quick.
Yeah, I can deal with that problem reasonably fast.
Skyfisher Spider does have reach, although it's only a 3/3.
Cosmic Rebirth to buyback path.
Oh my.
Oh. Okay. I have 9 mana.
You might want to spend 6 of it to put the flyer into the Pokeball.
Yeah. Thinking about... I think I'm gonna go Erg. Pass.
Because they can't kill Urg on attack bear, right?
Yeah, it's 5 toughness, so...
I see what you're doing, yeah.
Yeah. It also gives us the option of, like, sack some lands, gain some life if something goes horribly wrong. Okay, Evolving Wilds, sure.
I respect your opponent's dedication.
They
to
picked
fixing.
every fixing piece. And they're just
Like, I
playing
thought we did some actually pretty good dedication to fixing, but our opponent just decided, I can go all in. I'm gonna do a chaos draft where I am in fact playing 5 colors.
Okay. We're gonna do the thing. Let's get that flyer off. We can block one of the 2. So they will attack because, you know.
Yeah, they'll get 2 damage through regardless.
And then they'll get another 2 damage through with the Bear Ultimatum activation.
They'll gain 2, draw 2, and get another bear.
And then we start urging. Oh, shit.
Or they'll play a 5/5 trampler.
Okay.
Sorry, a 6/6 trampler.
I think I want that draw as a body to sack to the spider.
Understandable.
As we go... Body... Kill this. Could destroy target non-land permanent, but... I think we don't have an answer to a 5/5 on board, and we're at 7.
Yeah,
That's
the ultimatum activation is actually not as dangerous as just a 5/5 trampler.
Yeah. All right. They foretell a card.
That looks like a.
That looks like they foretold a card.
Okay. What chances did they? What chances
Any color
that they got?
Like, poison the cup is the kill spell.
What's the chances it is that it's the
Epiphany?
The bird's turn.
Yeah, bird's turn would be pretty bad. If they attack, I will make blocks to kill their board. Because I don't want to take damage here.
Mm-hmm.
This is instant speed, right? Yeah, instant speed. Okay. Okay.
All right. They absolutely have double blue for that.
And a 3/6 Vigilance cat.
Okay.
Okay.
They have been playing a lot of backbreakers.
Yeah. All right. That's nice.
That actually, yeah, that helps.
That helps. Here's the question. Put him to 3?
Remove the oil counters so you can hit for 4.
Yeah, just hit for 4 in the air and then have it like just
kind of force them to use the ultimatum.
yeah.
Sure.
The alternative is to leave it back as a blocker. Yeah, I'm gonna push in here. I'm surprised they haven't popped the Terrarian. I don't think that should be in play anymore. Alright. We have one activation.
If they try to sneak... Yeah, and if they try to sneak in a win off of Unblockable here... You can survive off of the duelist, and then ideally snap back for the win.
Okay. I'm gonna sack Island first. Wow. 2 floating. It's their 2 off colors, so they made 5 color with that. Sure, you're gonna like tap for mana, right? Yeah, pay 1 life, tap for black for instant or sorcery activation only. Spider is gain 1 life for each creature in your grave and then exile, which right now is, 1, but okay. Shoot us.
Here's that.
They go to 5. And they have 3 mana left over. A lot of cards, obviously. Okay. Oh, landfall triggers. Damn! That's incredible.
They've also had a lot of incidental life gain.
Yeah, they've gained all this life. All of that. We do have a flying aura in the deck, yes.
Yeah, take flight would actually instantly win this game.
Alright, so we're going to sack the island. And we have a surveil, so... I think I want that Woe Strider. Because that can also scry for our, final points.
Yeah. Then you get to leave up Erg still.
2 activations of Erg plus Duelist. Alright.
Goat.
Let's get a point in. I'm sorry, did they fail to find with that fetch?
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah,
Yep.
they did.
Alright.
That's only a... Interesting.
Okay. I cycle a land, sure, of course. We have some Erg activations. So we have 2 Erg activations as, life-saving measures. God, another duel that gains them a life. Okay. They should be, Frilled Sea Serpenting here,
Yeah, I'm surprised that they are not swinging in there unblockable at you.
Putting a stop on upkeep.
We almost killed them with just Charnel Troll.
Yes. Again, the incident...
Charnel Troll instantly proved its power.
They are only alive due to incidental life gain right now. They've gained about, 9 incidental life from, this duel, and this duel, and this twice, and...
Also, the 3 storefronts that they had.
Yeah. And a Life of Toshiro.
Leyline Invocation. Okay. That's a large bear.
It's a large body, but, that's just a body.
Yeah, it has no keywords or nothing. You have a goat.
It's just an 11/11. Just.
An opponent has no flyers.
I want to sack any lands here. Probably not.
That doesn't really help you dig, really. I mean, it kind of does. It would let you help through the scry, but that's it.
That's it.
That's it. That does it. Yep.
We had 2 outs was the secret there.
Right. I forgot the cartouche
Yeah.
was in here.
That's what, like, I was doing the math on if I wanted to start sacking, and once I noted it was like 15 left, it's like, we just start digging. I wasn't at the point where I was just going to sack the board to all in on that, but I was willing to sack the token there.
Yep.
Okay.
That works.
Flying.
Flying will win games. As I just posted a few hours ago, like, hey, you can have 78 copies of Mirari's Wake on the board. That's still not going to win you the game if your opponent can just hit you with a flyer.
Yeah, if you don't have a goose, you're cooked.
Yep. Gotta have that goose. Don't let your opponents juice your goose.
Don't do it. I'm just going to play a 2/2 flyer.
Yeah, his hand is kicking ass right now.
Yeah, I can, like, tech wrecker if need be, which is also nice. And then I can, like, fly the tech wrecker.
Oh, Galia. Neat. Galia has one of those, okay, no, this is not one of the symmetrical, what do you call it? Red, like, burn effects. I thought there's another satyr that does that. They're just playing her as a 2/2 haste.
Which I'm going to play you as a 1/3 death touch. You know?
Mm-hmm. So aside from Gilgamesh, which I think is going to be most people's answer to the card that would be most excited about in the Final Fantasy set, what would be your what are you most looking forward to as a possibility?
Oh boy. Like, I've been thinking about, like, different types of chocobos and Moogles. I've been thinking about, like, we're obviously gonna have, like, characters, but I was, like, we saw Barbarian class as in this draft. That seems like a pretty reasonable one to,
The only reason why I could think that they won't do those is because Black Mage would definitely be a red card,
it should.
and white and Red Mage would probably be a black card.
I wonder if Sid Reigns is notable enough to get a card.
Is that the Sid from the 13 games?
That is the Sid from the 13 games.
I see. All right. The reason why I said Red Mage would just be a black card is because black is the official does everything color.
Oh! Ugh, okay, well, if somehow
Leaves
we
the
can
battlefield,
still,
you only have a couple of ways to do that.
yeah, That's awkward. That's pretty bad. Like, we aren't very good at dealing with that. I went a little heavy in on it.
Blue Mage should be a green card.
Blue Mage should be a green card. White Mage, well,
I guess that's the one that, yeah,
Damn.
that's just a white card.
You know, I'm gonna sit through the next turn here, but I think we're
You might be boned.
I think we're a little smoked here. They even have the activation on. Like, I feel like basically any of the main villain cast is
There's a few of the main villains who I could see not being used, but a lot of them, given how huge the Lord of the Rings set was,
yes.
I want to say most of, if not all of the main villains and also all of the protagonists are going to be cards.
Yeah.
Except for, like, 1 and 3, since they don't have...
You get Onion or...
And Onion Knight, maybe.
Yeah, do we get Luneth from the FF3 remake?
Probably not.
Turning off my Death Toucher was lost this. Yeah, that was an aggressive line that I think did not pay off. I was trying to, because I had the flying cartouche, I was trying to push lethal damage that way, and that clearly backfired on me.
I would say if they're going to take a singular antagonist from 13, it would be either Bartandalus or Bunavelze and not Sid Reigns.
I would go with, like, have the big Bartandalus from, like, at the end of the desert.
Yeah.
Should be
It
the
should be
freaking
the
tomato.
fucking tomato.
It should be the fucking tomato. You gonna eat that tomato?
Death.
Like they said, mainline series. I do wonder what that
So
means
we're
for like.
unlikely to see Jack Garland, unfortunately.
Yeah,
We'll see Chaos, so we can kill Chaos. For
if
sure,
Jack
but-
Garland exists, make him a changeling.
I like it.
That's right. Who's your favorite turtle? It's Jack Garland.
Jack Garland.
This is awkward, but like colors are fine. This is defensive enough to be fine.
Who's my favorite Time Lord? Probably Chameleon Colossus.
Yeah, we don't know, like, details on if, like, you know, 10-2
Oh, the sequel
or...
games. Yeah, I have no fucking clue.
No, yeah, no
I'm
idea.
going to assume if they are, it's just going to be that they're packaging, you know, all of the sequel games as part of that game.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's do... Okay.
I guess they could have Caius in, but who
Caius.
likes Caius?
Caius is kind of cool, though. He's kind of, like, got the soul edge, and he's
For my money, Caius' sword is the worst designed sword in all of media.
Right, but it's also very stupid.
It's the stupidest.
Yule with Death Touch. Yule with cantrips. A Yule with a plus. Is the FF set thing set? It is a full tent pole
It's gonna
set.
be a full
So
draftable set in the same way that the Lord of the Rings set was.
The comparable set is the Lord of the Rings set. We don't have full details on like if that includes literally every style of like what products that would fully include, but
it could also be Commander decks as well, yeah.
I for certain draftable set, likely Commander decks plus other cards. I don't want to let you stick. I would love it if you didn't kill this in combat, but okay. Interesting.
Crocodiles that take flight. I'm going to assume it's going to get the token, but...
Yeah.
counter. Or never mind.
Or. Okay.
Code spell cleric again.
Yeah,
okay,
this-
someone picked this card as well.
Strong card. No, we got a 5/5 movable tribal. But yeah, so basically everything that exists with the Lord of the Rings set, you know, expect all of that as well. Which Final Fantasy character will have 4 shield counters? That's the entire text of the card. Just comes into play with 4 shield counters.
Necrophobe with 4 shield counters. It's like a 7/1 or something.
Yeah. You got it, boss. Okay. So I need to play creatures here. I can't, like, take flight because I'll die.
Yeah.
Well... would I, though? I'd be able to stop the shadow. 6 in the air.
And you have another... and you have a blocker to put down. You could take... you would take 8. Or 7. Without them buffing anything at all.
Take flight 6, untap 7, attack 8, skeleton 9. That's not lethal. Wait. Take flight.
Adds +1 power.
So that's 6. Put them to 10. Untap. We go worm and hold back. 5 gay emus. Thank you very much for the sub. Wait a minute. Are there more emus
It's more
now?
gay emus than I remember.
Yeah, huh. Congrats on more gay emus. So this is good for us because it puts a body in the yard.
Yeah.
Sure. I want to draw a forest.
So you can skydiver and take flight? Or
Yes.
something?
Yes.
Or, okay. That does it too, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, Island lets you do both.
Okay, so we go... Skydiver, take flight, attack for 8, upkeep, discard, kill them, and they can't kill us back.
Yes.
We're gonna have to give them a card. Alright. Half your life total. Can you kill me? Because this can't attack me. I can just force it out. If they have a kill spell... Kill me now!
Picked a fight with an ancient vampire.
What does Soren do here?
Lifelink.
Plus lifelink. Okay. Well, no, it gives lifelink if it's a vampire, right?
No, 1/1 counter if it's a vampire.
Okay.
What are we doing?
My bloodline flows through you.
Why are you choosing to gain less life?
Yeah, what are you doing here? So I have to take action.
Yeah. But now you don't have to block?
This is only...
That's 6. They have black and white. They could have a buff of some kind, but...
Okay, hold on. Going to 12. This is going to get a counter from the discard of Necromass and a counter from the removal of Necromass. That's 10, 11 Archer for 12.
That's it, yeah. So yeah, you don't want to block. You just want to bet it on they don't have a way to deal 3 extra damage.
And they don't have a way to kill us. Or, they don't have a way to kill my Skydiver, something like that. I think they have...
It would be amazing if their play mistake was swapping the scythe.
I think that was. They're gonna play
Especially if they swap it back. Why would you do that? I don't get it.
I think we got it. Yes, tapped out.
Yeah.
Ability on Charnel
You got
Troll.
it.
Discard Writhing Necromass. Counter. Activation.
Man, Charnel Troll kicks ass.
Charnel
Discard
Troll.
rules.
Oh, and
Yeah.
we have Proliferate as well. Like, they're done on board.
Oh, yeah. Proliferate. They're dead on board. Yeah. Okay. It is very interesting to me that they decided to do the equipment swap. It didn't make any sense.
We are, I have to allow the Skeleton Archer.
Yeah. The thing about the proliferate only was available because we drew a card.
Yeah, we drew a card.
That was allowed.
Like so, yeah. So we had to have it on. So we had to draw it on tap green for that victory. Skeleton.
But you had the skeleton warrior and your archer in your hand that was able to win regardless.
The trick here is, though, I don't actually have a 13th point.
Yeah, if they had not swapped the scythe to that creature for some reason, they would have been at 13 and would have been fine. They would have gone to 1.
I think I know why they did it. They were trying to push damage. Because if it's this way, I chump the Code Spell Cleric and take 1.
Yes. Yeah,
the alternate way allowed them to hit me with the Code Spell Cleric for 2 and still gain the life. They weren't
expecting you to not block.
Yes. Whew. Charnel Troll, thank you very much.
Charnel Troll. I'm glad he's good.
Yeah, like this troll for VOD watchers, 17 SM skulls. Good. I'm just taking a look at the art on Charnel Troll now. We got
I don't think he rated very high.
No, I feeling this, I almost feel like I don't get heavy troll vibes, especially from the shoulder armor. You know?
He's also not got much in the way of troll mechanics either. He gets bigger for eating things, I guess, which is kind of troll, but
does have like a mohawk that looks like you could belong in the wasteland of the Fist of the North Star. Like that thing,
Absolutely.
you could probably throw that and like slice off somebody's arm, right?
Yeah, that's definitely an enemy in God Hand.
Yeah. Good. Uh-huh.
I've got like fucking 50,000 skulls. I need to start spending these,
Yes.
okay?
More skull. Yes. I have spent like I haven't thought of it for 6 years straight, but I've been thinking about what the hell I ever wanted to do with those points for like years, and I never came up with a good decision. The best I have is like using them. I used them as like a letting people pick a character name in Dragon Warrior 3.
Yeah.
But like shrug. Yeah, you know, look, sometimes you just want pocket skulls. Sans.
I've always had trouble figuring out uses for corn, so.
Right. I know you've switched what corn can do over the years.
Only a little.
Well, like, adjusted. It's been small adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
Tods.
The only reason why I stopped doing drawing Tods is because I started to develop wrist problems, alright?
Oh. Hey, buddy. Easy prey, cycles. Yo! Okay, alright.
Fire Blade Artist.
Yeah, this card is, actually quite cool. This
Just lets you throw guys for shocks at your opponent. That's pretty neat, yeah.
turns on your spectacle is the mechanical bit there, but, you know, also just a strong, aggressive card.
Turns your goats into 2 damage to your face.
Yeah. Oh no. Uh-oh.
I think you've got a problem.
I agree. I think we have a problem. Uh-oh. Oh.
There it is.
Okay, all right. We can't charnel troll at this stage.
Nah.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Mo Shredder.
Hey, Rakdos aggro. It's
Yeah, that's
as
good.
always. Aggro plans are the most consistent, so
They ask you to answer the biggest question of magic. You know?
can you kill your opponent?
Right.
They are really they're just going for it.
Another creature, huh? Alright.
Ghost Rider can't eat itself, huh? Alright.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to charnel troll for the body here.
Zulaport Duelist also actually
Yes.
trades with one of the goblins.
Yeah, like just gets one off
Well,
the
not
table.
trades. It gets one off the table. Yeah.
Hopefully they start sacking.
Okay. There we go.
Like, obviously that's better for them than the body anymore. The 4/4 here. For them, though, the troll's on a timer. So I'm gonna have to remove Low Strider right away.
Yep. A shame, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine. Woe Strider is still gonna be that's what it's for.
Yep.
Maybe you actually let the Zulaport Duelist die.
I have a better plan for what the Zulaport Duelist is gonna do.
Okay, yeah. He's gonna go into he's gonna get eaten. Got it.
Yum. Thanks.
Delicious.
Yum. Problem here, Capture Sphere sucks. It's very bad.
It just gets either you still have to deal with the upkeep trigger, or it just gets eaten immediately.
Ooh, that's party. Where's your rogue?
Wow. Rogue on Instigator, really? Okay.
I mean, again, this is a perfect fit in the deck like this.
Yep.
Okay. This is probably just put it on Charnel Troll because like the size doesn't matter. The problem here is how the hell do I like resolve
come
the
back
long
from this, because
game?
your opponent is just gonna burn you out with the upkeep triggers, right?
Yeah.
So I guess what you have to do is you need to draw one of your kill spells, unfortunately, that's real. Because you're not going to be able to swing past them.
Yeah, and the troll's
Not
on
yet.
a time limit. Like,
Yeah.
sitting here thinking if I can try to be aggressive with it. If I do, I'm going to 5 and then down to like much lower than that. I think I'm winning. I need to start the clock, but I don't know if I can live doing this. It's the other part is like I can put the Fireblade Artist in the Pokeball, but that also doesn't stop it from, you know, sacking Elderfang Disciple or sacking Goblin Instigator. The idea here is that I need to deal damage to win, and we can't play a long game anymore. That's why. Damn, this is in here. Meld's a Graph Rat. Okay.
It does extend your life by 1 turn,
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. Again, we need to be aggressive.
You need to be so aggressive that you swing in with a 6/6 and play out a 1/1, basically.
Or just play that as a 2/2. I think I play it. Well, I think I play it as a 2/2.
If you play it as a 1/1, you can actually trade with the 1/1, ideally.
I don't think the
And then
1/1's
you'll be
in
able
play.
to keep Channel Troll.
They're just sacking the 1/1.
That's also fair. Not going to swing with their 2/2s. They're probably going to be holding back from this point on. They're just going to be trying to burn you out, right?
Yeah. Swing both and play both cards in hand.
You could leave the Merfolk Skydiver in your hand and allow it to be discarded, then sacked, and then capture Sphere, the 3/3, when it swings in on you. And I know that sucks, but it removes it from combat. Well, no, sorry, you have to do it pre-combat if you're gonna do that, because it's a sleep, right? Not a but.
Yep. Yep.
All right, you do have an out. Cartouche, Take Flight, both are outs here.
We're losing the Charnel Troll. I wish we weren't, but we are. And then I just need to make the crocodile fly.
That doesn't do it. So you had 2 cards out of like what, 28 in your deck that would have done it?
25. I needed like them to kill this in combat, but they clearly aren't going to do that.
Yeah. No, what their plan is to do is then they're just gonna eat that, fire it at you, and then Spring will do 1.
Yeah. Perhaps if they think that it is better for them to just pass and wait for the Fireblade Artist, but I don't think they'll do that. Okay, fine.
Nah, okay.
Fine.
They didn't believe your bluff even the slightest.
Even a little, that's fine. It would be great if we had a way of getting any life here, but... Okay. Damn. We were not dead until the final turn, which is good. And we did have, like, more than just the flying outs. Because any card that killed the fire blade would also...
That's true, yeah.
Would also get us out of that. Because then we just have, like, that off the board. We needed, like, one more activation on the troll to stick around, but... Alright.
This, I think, is unkeepable. I guess it has Urg.
So I would say Urg also does, like...
It does surveil. So I get, you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah. Alright, that's right. All in on Urg. Put down all of our bets on Urg.
You did also draw another playable, so that's
yes.
nice.
Yeah, there's gonna be Final Fantasy quotes when they do that. Oh, this card's fierce.
That's blue. It's a little slow, but it's blue.
And then we still have to play here, so not a real problem. Also, Devour Memory with Urg.
Yes.
Yep. Energy generation, sure. I don't believe you, but you get it.
I suppose there's Kaladesh in here. They could have a couple of outlets for energy, but...
I want to draw another blue source here.
Yeah, that's fair. You need to have double blue at some point. Come on, buddy. You want to do it. Take the block. It's free. It's just a gut check.
Yeah!
Yeah!
That's right, skeleton.
Archers.
Everybody talks about the skeleton warriors, but you gotta respect the skeleton archers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, drawing all the blue here is very good. We basically don't need lands from this position. I can throw them all down with Urg. We have multiple plays. We have removal. Devourer is a good win con, and we also have the board, like, kind of pressed. They have a lot of cards in hand, though. That's their advantage. They still have, like, you know, they're also all 3 our colors. Uh-oh. Alright. Do you think they have an energy outlet?
5 or more cards in your graveyard, huh?
Do you remember this mechanic? This really weird mechanic of 5 or more cards in your graveyard with mana values?
Oh. No, I don't.
Yeah.
What was this? Is this a, like, Crimson Vow or something? What? No, that was New Capenna, right?
Yeah, it was like a few cards in New Capenna. It was really weird.
Canadian Threshold.
Alright, let's just...
Sorry, I quite literally do need to go get my eyes checked, and my eyesight has been deteriorating quite a lot. So I could not tell what symbol that was.
Well, yeah, it's the...
Brass Knuckles and Angel Wings, New Capenna. I get it.
Yeah, I was trying to pull it up big, but it keeps disappearing on the left there.
Mm-hmm.
Vampire jump scare.
Oh, you're not allowed to.
Okay. This is a cool one. So the trick here is that
1/2 flying death touch.
our raptor is anyway. Land. Ooh. Okay. I think we're still attacking.
You can pretty freely swing in with Skeleton Archer and Woe Strider at the very least.
And this is unblockable now, so.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah, just swing in. Let's attacking.
This is energy, yes.
Your opponent can't do any profitable blocks here. It's just trades.
It's just trades. And I'm fine with...
Getting the Death Toucher off the board is actually very nice.
I care about this mana generator. I don't think so, because I'm still holding a piece of removal. They are still at 1 mana value. Can't imagine they have an energy payoff. I would love it if they...
No, some form of outlet, maybe.
I'd love to see a Long Tusk Cub, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They have a ton of flyers, by the way. Holy shit. Every single creature they've played other than this has been a flyer.
Trying to have gotten this down now instead of a moment ago.
I recently replayed the Super Metroid ROM hack that has the energy. Sorry, I kind of want that card.
Brazen Borrower.
You got it, boss! Haven't seen that animation for a while. Sure. Again.
Well, you saw it again. Why is he got such an elaborate animation? I guess because Eldraine was an early Magic Arena set. So
yes.
They didn't know their limits of, oh, we cannot sustainably do that for every single card. Jesus Christ.
They did it for every mythic, I think, was the... Anyway, 3/1 flyer still gets stuffed. milling there just to get the flying, get that on. Anyway, the Ugin's Conjurant is just a creature on the ground. I don't really care.
Hey, Tox Abomination.
Thanks.
You're gonna kill your opponent.
Hell yeah.
So like, you can take flight on the Woe Strider now and have a 6/4 flyer in the air.
Yeah, they can block it, but
Okay.
I'll accept that card, thanks. Well, this is actually much better than Take Flight because okay. All right.
Yeah, they would have had to
Lose their entire board, basically.
yeah, pretty much, because they would have had to block both of your flyers with both of their flyers and lose them.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yeah, they just lose both of their flyers there, and we still have a board.
I like your deck.
Yeah, when I did the removal from the grave, I know we had Urg, but Urg was never attacking, so I was treating that as keeping troll stuff around. This deck's sweet. Urg
I
did,
think it rules.
Urg did exactly what I wanted Urg to do. Milled cards.
Improved draw quality. Yeah.
What's the text on the Brazen Borrower again? It's a 3/1 that can only block flyers flying. So I'm going to play Tech Wrecker because we'll have Tech Wrecker bite down. This time we'll put the counter on the crocodile. Kill spell?
They're slightly incentivized to do it. It's any creature dying on for the far exit of a sector, right? Or is it your own side?
You control.
Okay.
Yeah. This one, when it dies, makes a decayed token. Don't play the troll. That's a terrible idea. This has Death Touch, which makes it actually a really, good creature. Gets the job done. We'll take 2. A decayed token is like can't block, dies on attack. And yeah. Alright, I'm just gonna
I like the idea of the decayed zombie tokens.
Yeah,
I think that I think it's a nice kind of elegant way to have them be a 1-turn swing in with the 2/2.
It also makes it so you can have cards that are like token generation that aren't like Bitter Blossom level scary, like
exactly. They're temporary, and that I like that about it. It's really weird that they kind of abandoned it the moment that they made it.
Yeah, the fact that it was only in one of the 2 sets felt sad. Okay, sure. my ass here is for an untapped land, but I will take a 4/4. You know? That contests the board, which is what I need right now. Geralf's card, or the one that makes a... What do you do on death? Show me your trick.
Creates a 1/1.
Yeah, the one that like makes a decayed token if you don't have a decayed token is cool. Okay, scry. I assume they have a way to... Yeah, okay, I assume they have a way to kill this. Yeah, it enables sacrifice outlets or sacrifice strategies without like being Bitter Blossom and just winning a game on its own, you know?
Yeah.
So mono black. Full court?
Full court press, huh? You've got good blocks here. I guess a good block.
I might want to take this Death Toucher down. I'm gonna do this.
You have the Charnel Troll for, you know, a creature that can be the sequel to...
Yeah, and Elfhame Worm as well. Like if we get 5th land, is I don't want to have to be contesting this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I've got a trick too if things go bad, which I'm quite happy to.
I see.
Uh-huh.
Bite down's an instant.
Yes.
All right. So
we kill the Vivisector. Or do we kill the Hobble Zombie?
the Vivisector is more valuable to them in general, I think. You can capture Sphere the zombie down and get rid of both halves of it, basically.
The big thing here is that it keeps this body around, which isn't going to be a terribly useful body for long, but it does extend its usefulness.
It can block.
Yes, it can still block. Final card. Self-mill 3 buyback. Okay. We've got 3 bodies down here, so time is ours. And opponent's empty-handed. Also into the... This is on.
Yeah, that Charnel Troll is going to stick around for ages.
We have the draw 4 now, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've got no recursion,
okay.
So it doesn't matter which one you choose.
All right. Just a little bit of time is all we need. That's buy back a creature. And scry 2. Pick up the... Okay. If damage is dealt... So we want this down, this down. I like chomp. We'll lose either Charnel Troll or Elfhame Worm. I would like it to be Charnel Troll to die. Okay. Charnel Troll gets to eat things forever. Okay. They have another buyback. They can buy back another creature with this body they put in the grave. What do they have down here? Giant Flail, Death Limb, Thallid. The creatures down here kind of suck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do. They do have a scry, so they'll likely draw live.
They have some way to sack that, then that's, you know, that also
Okay,
helps
this is what I was trying to push out of them. Because now we get their board. And we have a draw 4 remaining.
Yeah. In fact, that draw 4, yeah, it's cheaper even, so...
Yeah. Okay. They don't have enough mana to buy back the Fleet Cutthroat and play it here. It's 5 for the activation on Eerie Soul Tender. So they can... So they're going to grab the 1/1 Death Touch. Alright. Body. Now draw a card.
Come on, Cartouche, and requires you to sack a creature for Spider, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No. Let's just, we wait on Cartouche or Take Flight.
Mm-hmm.
They probably wanted the pre-draw phase, that Omen. A lot of land in hand. At least we... Okay, 2 bottom, so... Bad news on theirs. I will take this hit. What's your follow-up?
Is the follow-up that they have a hasty guy? And then they're going to try and kill you with that? There aren't that many mono black haste cards, but it does exist.
It does. I think they have to hang back. That's wild.
Okay, that's beautiful, actually.
Yeah.
For a number of reasons. You can kill the 1/1, then sack that to the archer, and
Yeah.
then kill their 2. Yeah. Archer to into 1/1, Spider into Archer into 2/3. Have another thing in the grave for Channel Troll to eat. Swing in for.
Let's see if they...
Pick the trade for the block for no particular reason.
Yeah. Fear of 3 creatures in hand. Which, I don't know why they think that, but... Yeah, fear of a giant growth, that makes sense.
I guess you just don't do the spider thing yet. Do you have any more creatures in your grave? I guess
No,
you can discard the spider.
We're out, yeah.
Okay, I see what you're doing, yeah.
I still want to take that action. The Charnel Troll is how we win. It attacks for 10 next turn. I don't care what, you know.
Undead Butler's not
Love their
gonna
deck,
be
by the
funny.
way.
Yeah, complete mono black. I'm all for it.
Mono black with a really good, like, graveyard emphasis. Alright. That is what we call
That's it.
game.
They can double block the 10-10 if they want. Still plus 5 damage.
Yeah, new part 2 of the Vikings. I am extremely there for that 7-part series. I am quite a fan of the Vikings, being one who lives up in Minnesota. So, giving me specifically a very lengthy documentary on the 60 years of Vikings history is very fun. First page, is Corrupt a possible card they're gonna have? Because that would have been a wild way to lose that game.
Maybe.
that would have been incredible if it was just like, and whoomp. Sure, I mean, it is a standard legal card, so I don't know, like, the chaos pool. I don't know if that's like in the zone, but it is heavily possible. Magic Lander. Yeah, I mean, it's in Brothers War, but, like, I don't know if the curated pool is 100% of all cards from every set, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if we saw a single prototype card, for instance. Maybe we did, and I wasn't paying close attention to the artifacts, but... Okay. They mulligan, please don't play creatures on 2. I'm extremely weak to plays. It seems like a pretty, like, curated pile in the sense that it has, like, the power level is tamped down. Anyway, they're gonna attack me for 4 right here? That's, okay. Alright.
Incubation.
Yeah.
Is the incubate 5 times after a wrath, 5-mana wrath, the best 5-mana wrath?
The one that, like, incubates for how many you killed?
Yeah.
It's either that or... Weird. We're taking our final loss here. There are a couple other, like, 5-mana wraths I know that are playable. I think of Hallowed Burial, but, like, Sunfall exiles even on top of everything else, so...
Yeah, Sunfall is ridiculous.
Like,
That's
just-
just what I mean. Like,
Unreal. We're gonna try and kill this.
there were some excellent 4s, as you'd
Yes.
expect. Damnation, Wrath of God, Damn. Just Damn.
Damn, Damn is actually a really cool wrath.
Yeah, I love Damn. That's a card that I include in basically all of my commander decks
Supreme Verdict.
that play white.
Yeah, Supreme Verdict kicks ass. Thank you, Skeleton Archer, by the way, for being, like, really good at trying to get through this board.
Yeah,
Like,
dang. Skeleton Archer did.
Skeleton Archer got there. Okay.
5 mana was part of the question, yeah. I was asking what do you think is the best 5-mana wrath? And Sunfall is probably, for my money, the one I would say is the best 5-mana wrath. A business as an archer have to be a 3/3. He's a really good archer. What?
Look, big.
That skeleton is tough as hell.
Tough skeleton.
That's a skeleton from Minecraft, all right? Like, it's a big deal. Terminus was 6, but obviously you weren't playing it.
Yeah, nobody ever paid. Anyway, we've turned a corner.
Yeah.
Our opponent has missed a 4th land drop, and all of a sudden we have the board under heavy control.
And also, I would actually argue for actually paying 6, Farewell is better.
God, Farewell is...
Farewell is so oppressive. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Exile, my choice of permanence, basically.
Isn't that impressive? Have you ever had it cast against you in a game of Limited and won? It's
And also, I play almost exclusively graveyard deck, so of course it's super oppressive to me.
Like, even in Constructed, as far as 6-mana options, it's wild. What am I doing here? Yeah, like, both, like, there's many different contexts. In Constructed as well, but, like, how many creatures do we have in the yard, by the way? 2?
My
3?
perspective in Constructed, it's the silver bullet that kills me, the person. Not my deck, me, IRL.
You die.
Personally.
I'm just putting down a Charnel Troll. All right. I don't know that I can attack with Charnel Troll yet.
A shame, but understandable. They're not going to block there because it's going to be, you can just proliferate.
Which is the plan. I saw them looking at this. I was like, ah, shit. This doesn't have, like, reach, does it? Alright. Let's push.
And your spider does have reach.
Yes. That's kind of gotta happen here. F! Another! Well... Five death touch. Thanks, Necromass. This is... Oh no, Llanowar Elf! Literal Llanowar Elves!
Yeah, they printed Llanowar Elves in one of the Dominaria sets, right?
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yep. Anyway, I will take action. Thank you. Somebody made the mistake. Well?
Okay, hold on. You have 9 damage right now.
Yeah.
So you'd want to swing in. Okay, it's difficult to actually kill them without.
Yeah,
Can you actually hold on? Can you crocodile and cartouche here?
like give the counter to the necro mass? Because like who
Yeah,
cares?
because it has death touch, so who cares? And the crocodile is also gonna be 9 damage, and then yeah, you have 2 different
can also do this.
threats. Yeah.
Have we ever seen this card in life?
What is this? Oh yeah, you've not played Eccentric Farmer even once.
Whoa.
This card has not shown up at all.
This is the first time I've seen this in the draft. This was like kind of a
Also, I guess Skeleton Archer MVP this game.
Yeah,
for so thoroughly dealing with that board.
Yeah, Skeleton Archer was like the card that got us out of that board, which we clearly. I thought we were dead, but they missed a land drop and then like couldn't continue the pressure up. All right, we're in final game finally here. Let's finish. Let's run this out. We're at 6-2.
It's not that we don't like the farmer. It's just the farmer hasn't shown up.
Yeah, it's nothing like bad about the farmer. It's just I forgot the farmer was in the deck. Like
after 8 games, that farmer had not shown up even once until 7 games. It showed up the 8th game. Even though we've gone through a large amount of our deck repeatedly.
Darren 5675, born in the year.
I think that one they might just have their full birth year in there. That's born in the year 5675.
Yeah, this is fine. Throw back a forest.
I guess now we get to know where he, because we complained about it.
Yeah.
Here he is.
Ooh. Early Invisible Stalker.
Thinking about a world in which you'd be allowed to choose what kind of mulligan you get to have.
If you want if you want to like this is aggressive. That's the best draw I could have asked for here.
Use your 2/2 unblockable hexproof.
Yep.
Kill your opponent in well, right now in 11 turns, but that can change.
Yeah. And we have both Woe Strider and a way to fill the yard for Woe Strider, so. Trainer's Torment, what do you do? Deal 2 damage, gain 2 life. I'm sensing a theme here. I'm a farmer.
It's the farmer. Oh, there's a land.
And the final one on this is XX, where X is half your life total, you take that much damage. Okay. Yep. Okay, so they're gonna make a 9/9 and go to 9. I'm in. I'm the one who controls an invisible stalker, like, you know?
Cartouche is +1/+1.
Yep.
The proliferate is an additional +1/+1. You can deal 4, then 5 next turn if you draw a land.
Sure.
Or you can just
That's-
have a 5/5 Death Toucher on the board.
Let's just put this down. All right. In 3. Was there any reason not to sack the Doom farmer there? I forgot about it because I was thinking about the... I didn't have it marked for death until after the trick. That's fine. So back up, hands off the keyword.
Right, okay.
It's,
But you're just going to block and sack with the O1.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Can I cast that? Yeah, that card's fine. Oh. I like how aggressive our opponent is, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, backup is only 1 turn.
Yeah, it's only 1 turn. Now it doesn't have the keywords.
Right. There it is. What? Don't do this format and go to go 7-2 in it with an actually really fun deck? I don't know. I think this format was pretty fun.
I like that it's not super high power. This is just like... This is just playing a weird, normal, limited format.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even if things went wrong there, we still had the bite for a Death Toucher. Yeah!
Beautiful.
Free Erg.
Frog Beast. Theros Beyond Death? What?
And then we get some sets, I guess. I don't know. Oh, they keep coming. Shadows Remastered?
What? That's a thing?
Alright, let's open some card packs.
Some Tales of Maj'Eyal card packs. Sting.
These are quite powerful cards that have actually had an effect on formats. Older formats specifically.
Oh, the cyclers?
Yeah.
Neat.
You know,
I mean, hey, yeah, basic cycling is actually like, really good. So
the blue one is quite playable because it's effectively like a fixing piece that also can pitch to force and like lets you play down on lands even. Living End loves this stuff.
Nice.
Because they're bodies that they can easily discard to keep grabbing the mana. Hey, buddy.
Love this card. I absolutely
Hello?
adore Reprieve. Hello, Sting again. I absolutely adore Reprieve. I cannot get over how much I love that they finally did it.
I know, it's been like one of those things.
White Remand, come on, finally.
Fiery Temper, Incendiary Flow. Okay.
This guy.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, I remember Surge Engine.
So Surge Engine, I remember playing against this card at like the pre-release, and you can't beat it.
It's really hard to beat a
Like,
card
you-
that's just
You
an unbelievably powerful, unblockable creature.
It's a 5 power unblockable for like 2+1+3, which is very easy to do. And then also, if it's late in the game, has a draw 3 on it. And if it's early in the game, you're dead. Like, hope you have a removal right now because you're not catching it in combat ever.
Mm-hmm.
Wolf Song Night and Day.
Hello, Bertai.
Yep. Vorklex gets stabbed in the head and shrugs it off.
Kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ooh.
he actually breaks Kaya's knives there, doesn't he?
Orvar here is
He's a pretty good Time Lord. I'll say that.
well, yeah. Not only that, this sees play. There's like certain sideboards that are happy with this effect. It's weird. It's a weird one. Favorite sliver. Daxos, Necrotol, Portent. Hey, Breach.
Hello, Underworld Breach. Hell of a card.
I got War of the Spark. Hi, Sahili.
We did it!
Proliferate, 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 proliferate. Yes. Song of Frailes. This was a beating and a half in this limited format. You would basically, because it gave you a ton of mana because it turns all your creatures into dorks, and then on the turn that it goes off, you just have Vigilance, Indestructible, Trample, so you just go push for 15, and your opponent can't do anything about it because their Vigilance Indestructible, like, and the mana lets you just slam your hand out. So. And then I've got like another orb to put somewhere, I guess. Any card that generates more life. Yeah, for Bolas' Citadel. Alright. Anyways. That's enough magic for today. Thanks, Doc, for
That was
jumping in.
yeah. I've been kind of doing not that much today, so because I'm preparing for tomorrow.
What you got going on tomorrow?
My anniversary marathon.
Oh, okay. What's on the table?
I'm not sure. Actually. I'll figure it out.
All
I'm
right.
very bad at preparing for things.
As someone who's very bad at preparing for things, I understand. Yeah, but yeah, thank you all for joining. Thank you. Thanks next time around for the ton of subs, and thanks everybody who did sub as well. Thanks everybody just being here, having a good time. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for all the skulls. Tomorrow we're finishing up Dragon Warrior Stories Torneco: The Last Hope. So Dragon Warrior 5, Dragon Quest 5 will be starting next week. And I think on Thursday we're finishing Live Alive finally. Live Alive. Like, that's been kind of sitting in a while. If we can finally get that that movie on the Jimmy. I already played Jimmy, but Chewy's great. But yeah, so anyway, that's upcoming stuff. Yeah. So thank you all for joining. Have a good night, everybody.